Apple has a date, and almost nobody has gotten it right. The keynote, the pre-orders, the on-sale day, every part of this schedule is falling into place right now. And one outlet just published a keynote date I'm fairly confident is wrong. Here's what the real timeline actually looks like down to the minute. And before we get to the dates, there's one thing about the iPhone 18 Pro Max this year that's going to change how you decide which model to buy. We'll get there. Let's break this down properly. There are 3 dates we need to nail: the keynote, the pre-orders, and the on-sale date. Get one wrong, and the whole schedule falls apart, and you end up setting an alarm for the wrong morning. I've gone back through every iPhone event Apple has ever held and mapped each one against where it landed relative to Labor Day. And what that research shows makes this year's timeline pretty clear. Once you understand the one rule Apple has never broken, there's a website out of Australia called Channel News. They published what they called exclusive information, claiming Apple will hold the iPhone 18 Pro event on September 8th. Here's why I don't buy it. Apple has never, not once, then held an iPhone keynote the day after Labor Day. This year, Labor Day falls on Monday, September 7th. That puts September 8th on a Tuesday. A Tuesday keynote would be a first in iPhone history. And here's what makes this even clearer. Even Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who initially said September 8th was most likely, has now moved to September 9th. When Gurman changes his date, that is worth paying attention to. So, Wednesday, September 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time. Steve Jobs Theater, Cupertino. The last time Labor Day fell on September 7th in a normal year was 2015. That year, Apple held the event on Wednesday, September 9th. History doesn't always repeat itself, but with Apple's event calendar, it usually does. One more date to put on your radar. I'm calling Wednesday, August 26th for when Apple officially announces the event itself. That's typically how far in advance they send the invites. Now, here's the part that's going to trip people up. Pre-orders almost always open on the Friday after the keynote. This year, that Friday is September 11th. Apple isn't going to open iPhone pre-orders on September 11th. They didn't do it in 2015 when the exact same situation came up. Pre-orders that year opened on Saturday, September 12th instead. This year, Saturday, September 12th, same logic, same respectful call. Mark Gurman has backed this up as well. So if you're planning to be first in line the moment pre-orders go live, don't set your alarm for Friday morning, set it for Saturday. Because if you miss that window, you're probably looking at a 2 to 3 week wait for delivery. This one is straightforward. Apple always releases iPhones on the Friday in the week following the keynote. Pre-orders open September 12th. Release date is September 18th, Friday, in your hands. Now, one open question people are arguing about right now: does the foldable iPhone, possibly called the iPhone Ultra, launch on September 18th alongside the Pro lineup, or does it get announced at the same event but ship later? My read, it launches on September 18th, but that's a full conversation on its own. What matters today, September 9th, September 12th, September 18th, lock those in, okay? This is the part I actually want you to focus on, because every year the battery difference between the Pro and the Pro Max is fine. The Max is bigger, the battery is bigger. Expected. Moving on. This year is different. Regulatory documents have now leaked the battery capacities for both eSIM models. iPhone 18 Pro Max, 5,567 milliamp hours. iPhone 18 Pro, 4,288 milliamp hours. For context, last year's numbers were 5,088 for the Pro Max and 4,252 for the Pro. So the Pro Max battery is growing by roughly 10%. The Pro battery is almost completely flat, barely changed from the 17 Pro. Here is what that actually means. Both phones will benefit from efficiency improvements in the A20 Pro chip and Apple's new C2 modem. So the base iPhone 18 Pro will still be better than last year's model, but the gap between Pro and Pro Max, it is widening. If you are the kind of person who ends the day at 40%, this might not change your decision. But if you are someone who charges your phone twice a day, or travels a lot, or just never wants to think about battery again, the Pro Max argument just got a lot stronger this year. The trade off, as always, a bigger battery means a heavier phone. You are not getting that extra capacity for free. One more thing, Mark Gurman has said this is going to be an especially significant year for camera upgrades across the entire iPhone 18 Pro lineup. That is the good news. Here is the part that is still unresolved. A credible leaker has suggested the new variable aperture system, one of the more genuinely interesting camera upgrades in years, might be exclusive to the Pro Max, meaning the standard iPhone 18 Pro might not get it. No other source has confirmed that yet, so if you are a Pro user, I would not panic. But I would watch this closely between now and September 9th, because if that variable aperture rumor turns out to be accurate, it changes the value equation pretty significantly. A camera feature at that level being locked to one model is the kind of thing that quietly moves a lot of buying decisions. We will know soon enough. So here's where everything stands. September 9th, keynote. September 12th, pre-orders open. Saturday, not Friday, September 18th, in your hands. And if you are currently sitting on the fence between the iPhone 18 Pro and the Pro Max, here's my honest take. The Pro Max has a more compelling case this year than it has had in a while. Not just because of the screen size, because of the battery gap. If you have always defaulted to the smaller model, this might be the year to actually run the numbers before you decide. One thing I will be watching closely between now and September 9th, whether Apple confirms or denies the variable aperture being a Pro Max exclusive. That one announcement alone could shift a lot of people. I am curious, are you a Pro or a Pro Max person? And is there anything this year that would actually make you switch? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone.